up guys, it's Swang. Welcome back to another video. I'm here with my coworkers. This is Erica and this is Maria, and we all worked on Night Owls and Summer Skies together. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about the kind of production process and a little bit of behind the scenes. Mainly it was Erica who did a lot of the story ideas, and then Maria helped a lot with the art along with Tikklil, aka Sam. So that's why I have them here today. So they can give their 2 cents on how they contributed to the project, and I will be asking some juicy questions for each person, and then you guys can kind of share your thoughts.
Are you like a YouTuber or something?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to be. I'm sweating a lot.
You rolled right into that.
Yeah. So how do we start with the concept design? Do you remember? It was so long ago.
Well, I read the book before you did, and I really liked that Emma got a black eye and was just walking around with contraband apples and just being like punk, but like stupid. Like she's
an edgy girl.
She's edgy, but like she's eating an apple. Like
yeah.
She's not even doing anything crazy. And I liked that they were like, oh, Vivian and her beautiful dark hair. So I just drew a doodle because we were like, oh, maybe we'll work on this book. And I was like, so.
Do you still have the doodle? Is it here?
It's in the concept art doc that we gave to Tikklil.
Do
you remember that? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Documentation, everyone.
Yeah, documentation. Just in case you need to film it behind the scenes literally 6 months afterwards.
You're right.
Well, she did. This was the first one she sent in. And she's wearing like this black turtleneck.
Kim Possible vibes.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Not great for the summer though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's true. Well, it's like a very beautiful drawing, but I was like, does it read, like, do I look at this person and think, oh, this is a rebel. This is someone who is going to steal stuff out of the kitchen and try and get kicked out of camp. So that's when we added the little
tore off the sleeve.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got the sleeveless top. You ripped off her sleeves.
That is now we're representing.
Yeah. And then you gave her the streaks in her hair, which I think was like a really nice touch. I think the streaks were a nice touch because she's the type to like dye her hair and then forget about it.
Definitely colored it with a highlighter.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Yeah. It also feels like something that she would do, like, oh, she did it at her dad's place and her mom was upset about it, but it's like it's already done.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Big one, yeah. And then the band tee, I think it like adds like a lot of like, you know, character, like adds more to her personality. And
I tore her jeans. I just tore up her
clothes. You just tore up her
clothes. Yeah, with scissors and was like,
ripped it. Yeah. And then the little details I think are really important, like the band-aid on the hand and just like the like untied shoes. It like, I think it gives like a good kind of look into like.
I think I changed her shoes too.
Did you change her shoes?
I gave her like.
Oh yeah, bands.
Yeah, I gave her like skater boy shoes.
You need the bands. Those are important.
Yeah.
What the first one's like how she dresses when she's at her mom's.
Oh
the
yeah.
One's how she dresses normally.
Literally. In the expression sheet too, like she just has so much more like of her like personality and her expression. Like after the like kind of design helped with that, like Tikklil had a better idea too of like what kind of personality Emma has.
Yeah.
Well, she also added instead of doing ripped jeans, she did the little like
patches,
which is really cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Loved that. Yeah.
And I think what was important too is that she's gotta look punk but not mean. Like she still looks.
She's a little dorky.
Exactly. Yeah. She's like a little bit lame.
And I think the safety pin earrings was that.
That was Tikklil.
Yeah. That was Tikklil.
Yeah.
That was
iconic.
Yeah.
The amount of comments we got for the safety pin earrings.
Tikklil also, what I really liked was her little antenna.
Oh yeah, the one that would keep on changing.
Yeah.
And the other detail that I really liked is her eyebrows that are the same as her mom's. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, because her eyebrows are very, very thick. Like it's just like her mom's as well. And I was like, wow, like I really see.
She does look like you know, she's her parents.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And the hair color too is like a mixture between her mom's blonde and then her dad's dark brunette.
Yeah.
So I really liked how Tikklil is so detailed with like these tiny nuances.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Like it looks like someone who is soft but is like that's her little like shell, like her spiky
yeah.
shell. Like she's like, I don't, because she is someone who's been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Second read on her that if she was actually like Vivian looks like someone who got her shit together and she doesn't need to like be loud about it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Vivian, we have a lot of interesting stuff because she is a camp counselor. Yeah, I was a little bit like worried at first because I was like, how do you make like I don't know, like summer camp counselor outfits look good, you know?
Yeah.
Right, how can she look like hot and mysterious
But she's like
while wearing like a polo?
khaki.
Character, but she originally had these like foofy
I don't
anime
even
bangs.
remember this.
Wow,
I
look
don't
at her
remember
little
this.
bangs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They are cute.
They are very cute. And I think it makes her look very soft. Makes her look softer than like
Yeah, well that's why I
Yeah.
have them. And it's also it's much more stylized. Like that's not a hairstyle people have in real life, which is not a bad thing. That's very like anime, but also
My hair does do that sometimes. My glasses are like poking it down, but usually
jealous.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
she's not as mysterious
Definitely.
with those swoopy bangs.
And a little bit
Look at that glow up.
more mature.
Yeah.
I mean, she was part of the organization, so you don't see, and that's part of the mystery is that you don't see a lot of her own personality on her. It's like camp stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to give her little leggings because that is just a nice visual.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
like you're very practical with the details too, because obviously if she's out in summer camp and she just grew up there, she definitely has clothes that are very fit for that environment. And like obviously you'd have to wear leggings because the mosquitoes are freaking everywhere.
Yeah.
I also like been hiking in shorts and you just get cut off.
Yeah, like there's like she would never.
Yeah.
Mine are like the thigh chafing when you wear shorts that
Oh,
short,
yes,
you
that
know?
too.
Yeah, and it's sweaty, so like I really like that. And then the little like wristband. I think that was you who added that, right?
Oh, I was like, oh, she would have like gifts from, like I wanted to show
Oh, the
that
little
she's
gifts
nice.
From like
Yeah.
younger kids. Yeah.
Those beaded bracelets are so summer camp coded. Like, are you kidding me? Like I see her and I'm like, oh yeah, she's a camp counselor. And like the digital watch too.
Oh yeah, because I was like, oh, she would have one that was like waterproof.
Yeah.
And we were laughing at Lauren's
Lauren,
fucking athleisure.
Mean girl vibe.
Anyone that didn't think that she was also gay is like,
How can you
look at her.
biceps?
Look
how
at
can you
her.
Mood boards for all of them.
Oh, we
do
did.
still have.
Oh yeah,
It might be,
they're right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the a lot of photos of like Anna Kendrick from
Oh, and this, if you guys
From Twilight.
ever seen Stick It?
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
Stick It, yeah. That kind of vibe, definitely. That kind of like uptight, like popular girl, but like
I mean, she's also kind of trying to prove something.
Yeah.
They all are. All three of them. I never thought about it like
they're
that.
little insecure babies.
Well, they're all like 17.
Yeah.
That's like the worst.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the worst. It's one of the worst stages.
Yeah.
So Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren was for her. I remember making them like when we were talking about what she was wearing. She's a try hard. Like she's showing up and being like, I have the latest Nike whatever hiking shoes, and like I'm ready to camp. And I wanted that to be a contrast between Emma too, because Emma is wearing like
Really impractical.
like
stuff.
sit at home clothes.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that visually tells that story of Lauren being like, I've been here 6 times and
Well, and it's cool because it shows like she's the mean girl, but she's not a pritz in the
Yes.
same way. Like, you know, like the scene in Mean Girls where all the sprinklers go off and they're like, my hair!
Yeah.
Like, Lauren doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
that's Emma actually.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that episode where Lauren was like freaking like putting up the tent. I was like,
Yeah.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. And then Emma was like the one freaking out.
Yeah,
That's
I like
what
that
it is.
subversion too.
Exactly.
I think she's gonna have a pixie cut in her adulthood.
Oh,
I think she's
yes.
gonna cut her hair real
She
short.
might even like just shave it all off.
Yeah.
Like I see it.
Yeah, and I remember one of the big notes is we took away her those I don't know what you
The
call
hair on
those.
the sides?
Yeah,
The
because I was
wispy
like,
hair
I
on
want
the
her
sides.
everything to be pulled back. She's
Clean.
not afraid.
Yeah, she's a clean girl.
Yeah.
We also did
We also did like a lineup, and we were like, let's look at them all side by side. That's when we added stuff like the mole.
I had to pull up a bunch of like environment photos for Carlos, who did the 3D modeling. But it was useful because Tikklil drew like concept art for the main buildings, and then Carlos just had to follow that. But there were some like small details, like what would the kitchen look like, and what would those things look like
Yeah.
that I got to show to Carlos.
Well, that was the whole point of doing one concept, because once you have one, you can sort of build everything off that, and that was why we also did.
Smart
We can do all the main characters, and then all the side characters are like
They
you
kind of
already know
branch
what the
off
world
a
is.
little
Yeah,
bit.
so
Yeah.
as long as they look like they live in the same world. But I remember specifically the cabin. The first version of it had like a very professional looking sign, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, oh no, this is a crafting camp.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna make
true.
I looked up pictures of like crappy like paper plate beavers and stuff, and I sent it to her, and she did that cute little
Beavers drawing.
Did you guys
So
go to
cute.
camp? I think we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
I went to camp and I loved it.
It was the worst experience. For me.
Yeah.
I went to vacation Bible school.
Oh,
I got the two extremes
Yeah.
here.
what better place to have a gay
Yeah.
experience?
So for the writing portion, I guess we could just start by saying like, because you read it and then you could talk about your thoughts and then how you structured it. And then afterwards we can go into like the changes that you made and all those kinds of things. And then we also have some like questions that like fans just kind of dropped. Yeah. So I can ask those as like a fun little.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm also curious if anything came of looking at the art. Like, did you look at it and be like, oh, I have an idea for something?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, again, we were all on the same brainwave.
Yeah.
Thinking, like when I saw Vivian, I was like, we should, you know, make sure to incorporate, you know, Tikklil's culture into it. You know. So that was a big thing. When I came on, when like we were first, like I think Gwen was in black and whites and Walter had not been done yet. And so I got to give a little bit of input on Walter too. So I was like, yeah, we're like dorky, scrawny, like
sandals.
Yeah. And you know, we did a couple of variations of him when he was like buff and I was like, no, we gotta go scrawny.
Wait till you guys see Erica's husband.
Yeah, he looks exactly like the character in Bun in the Oven.
I need a picture of your husband.
I'll throw you. I'll put a picture.
Start by like, you read the book.
Yeah, I'll start from the, I mean.
What did you think?
Yeah, so you came to me because you and I had worked together before. I wrote the back half of American Road Trip and worked with you, and you approached me being like, hey, I'd like you to work on this. And I read the book. And it was super cute. It was really great. There was a lot of really poignant stuff that is really universal to, you know, a young queer experience. Like I'm married my husband, I'm bisexual. And there was, again, I put a little bit of my own stuff in there, like, with Olive, that was very inspired by personal, like, kind of like a crush romance that never panned out type of thing.
You mean people write about stuff that happened to them?
Really liked the book, and I thought there was a lot of really great material there that would adapt really well into this kind of like shoujo-ai, you know, GL story that we were going for.
Oh, that's so funny because Tikklil added all this sort of shoujo petals and stuff. We did not ask her to do that. She just went for it.
In the script too, Erica kept on referencing my hero.
Yeah, a lot of anime stuff.
Shoujo, and I remember too, like in the Bible that you sent, the descriptions were like just loaded with anime references.
Yeah.
Like all of the shoujos, like you listed so many.
Yeah, it's like Kimi ni Todoroki, Blue Spring Ride.
Yeah. And I think like Tikklil like picked up on that and was like really got the vibe. And so
that's what it feels like to see a pretty girl when you're 17.
It really does.
There's like flower petals.
Yeah. I really wanted it to be like, you know, bring a lot of the doki doki like shoujo tropes that you see even just in traditional shoujo and being like, yeah, let's bring this to GL, which probably isn't the new idea, but also it's like, that's, you know, let's treat them the same, you know?
What I really liked about the book is that they are like competitive. Like it's not like they're like looking at each other from opposite sides of the room. They're like bickering. I like that they were arguing.
Well, what really struck me too about it was how open from the beginning, like the mental health.
Yes.
And that was something I knew I wanted to expand on because when you adapt, obviously there are things that are not going to make it in. There's things that you're going to, you know, bring more in. It's like a 250-page book. That's really hard to stretch across 50 episodes. So I knew that we were going to have some subplots in there too. And you know, my goal was always to build off of the bones that were already there, you know, expand within the spirit of the book. So I didn't want to add too many new characters or new, you know, completely new plot lines. I wanted to expand on the actual characters that were there and the same ideas that were there. So the fact that mental health was such an important thing, like that's what I wanted to focus on with Walter's story, you know, and his whole thing was about kind of
him not wanting to leave home.
It was like the freshman blues, essentially, like being so excited for college and then getting there, and it's just so completely different from what you expected and what you're used to, and it just not being the right fit. But you put so much time and energy into getting there that you feel like you're trapped.
Yeah, and he feels like such a nester too.
Right, he was really, the version that I wrote of him was like, and that I kind of, you know, I again, building off of what was in the book, like he's so ingrained in the camp in the book, that I wanted to be like, yeah, I wanted to make him, you know, more shine in the real world. It's that this is the place where he really shines, because this is what he's familiar with. But when you put him out of his comfort zone, he's really uncomfortable. Obviously, cooking was a huge thing. And then, of course, since I collaborated with Sam a lot, we got to introduce ourselves and a lot of readers to, you know, Bengali cuisine.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
A lot of messages exchanged.
Oh, the chat was great. The chat was always popping with some good food, and occasionally Erica would ask like a really poignant question about like, oh, what do they eat for this? Like, what is
celebrations?
Common?
Yeah.
Like, what would they have for breakfast? Like, would Vivian's mom like make this for the campers and stuff like that? And so like I was constantly like looking at all the things that Sam was referring to, and then like searching if I could find it in LA. And I was like, the food looked so good.
I was like, I want to go to the camp to eat the food.
I know. Yeah.
But even stuff like what they call the siblings and stuff like that. Yeah. It's very cute.
Yeah, as you said, like 50 episodes, we have a lot of room to work with.
Yeah.
So just expanding on Walter, expanding on food, Emma's love for cooking, to expanding more on Emma's personality.
Yeah.
It's so cozy.
Yeah.
It's very cozy.
Yeah.
Well, what was it like, you know, writing something and then seeing the boards or the designs come through?
It was really great, and particularly because this team was so collaborative, you know, we all really bounced off of each other a lot. Like there were jokes that I would write, and then the thumbnail artist would take it, you know, even further, or do their same, you know, really pick up on my humor and then add more of that stuff into
Christy,
it.
right? Yeah, Christy, that was the thing I really liked, was that we all had really good synergy. Like every single meme you put in, Tikklil like just executed. Especially, and she even like went the extra mile. I think Christy went the extra mile. Like especially the part where Gwen was like, "Oh, the ship has sailed," and then Christy went forward and was like, "I'm drawing Gwen on a freaking ship." And then Tikklil was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna draw that ship." So it was just great. Like,
the secret is to hire gay people who are very online.
Who understand. That was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and we built off of each other too. When I saw that, like, you know, Christy liked to do it, you know, and everyone on the team liked to doing all these, like, you know, memes and goofy bits. Particularly when we got to Gwen, like when Gwen, you know, found out that Emma liked Vivian, I went a whole ham in that episode of like the sapphic imagery.
No, that's the thing that I really like, is that like none of you guys held back.
Yeah.
And I think that's like it was as indulgent as it needed to be. And I think people really liked it for that, because it's like, I mean, why else would you be reading a webtoon like this? You know, it's for the indulgence, and like we all just kind of like poured our heart and soul into like making it as good as we wanted it to be.
It's like written by the audience for the audience.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's also why I wanted to pick it up. I was like, I just want to see it happen.
That's the big thing I think at Webtoon. Like that's part of what happened with the Bat Family series, and like
that's true.
Like I really like, because you can kind of feel it when you read it. The people who made it also love it.
Yeah, and I think the readers too, like really, I mean, first of all, they loved all of the indulgence, but then also just I like reading all the comments and just like seeing so many people relate to, first of all, the mental health, the things about like the way that you described just her like dark space was just so evocative, and then the way Tikklil kind of expressed that like visually just like paired so well. Again, the thing with like you guys are like on the same wavelength, and like you expanded on that, and I think a lot of people reading who are like the same age as Emma, going through the same things, felt so attached to her as a character, and like literally could not part with her after the series ended, you know, like it was just very strong.
Oh, my heart.
Like literally, that's what I felt. And then, you know, same with like,
well, you feel like her friend.
You feel like her friend, exactly. And just same with like all of the extra like cultural additions, and having her feel like she found her family through the blacks, and all these kinds of things is just so emotionally like heart-wrenching, you know. And I think that is the biggest thing that kept the fans locked in every single week, and like struggled to like part with them at the end. So I really think that was just amazingly done on your end.
Well, Erica was like, baby gays.
They don't need a home. moment. Yeah.
No, and I mean, that's always like, I can't say the reason why everyone writes, but that's the reason I write, you know, and that's like what media was for me. When I was growing up, is that it was a safe space. It was a place where, you know, I went to escape, and you know, there wasn't a lot of media that like acted like me or felt like me or looked like me necessarily when I was growing up. So being able to like, but it was still a safe space, you know, and there was still stuff there that I related to. So if I can take that same feeling and put it into, you know, more representation so that more people can feel that directly. Like that was successful. Like if people did relate to it, like it means I did my job.
Well, I think what was really good about it feels most slice of life, but the characters also feel like full people.
Right.
I think with slice of life, not that this is a bad thing, but it tends to be very, very simple, kind of straightforward characters and story, but it's like, oh, everyone here has little quirks and little flaws and little things, and that nice balance of humor, and like it got very serious. It was never felt abrupt. I think they did a good job of keeping that tone. Because it never got overly dark, but it's like life is hard, especially when you're a teenager. And her parents' divorce, I think, was a big thing. The divorce and her fear of camp was, I really like how you handled all that.
I really think just like both of you guys too, just adding those extra details just made it.
I added shoelaces. I
added trauma.
That mole. Was the
Vivian.
best addition. No, but honestly, I think that's what makes characters and stories stand out, and that's what makes them last longer in your mind and have like a stronger impact on the audience. So definitely, I think, I don't know, just like round of applause for you guys. Yeah. Who do you think Vivian and Emma's favorite musical artists are?
I was like Tikklil and Sarah, Kelly Kyoko, like all the game.
But like not for Emma.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think
Vivian.
I think there's a little bit of sad indie girl in Vivian. Like Maggie Rogers and like.
I'm terrible with bands. Like I don't know a lot of like bands nowadays, but I think Vivian is very much into like, you know, Half Alive, My Chemical Romance, like a lot of, you know.
I think Vivian's cool.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Really?
Yeah.
Vivian. Yeah. I was like, Vivian's so Lana Del Rey coded though.
I mean that too, but I think I think Emma is actually
Thrasher.
A little basic.
Yes, I think so.
I think she'll do some Thrasher stuff, and she likes like indie bands.
Like Paramore level.
Yeah, she loves Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
like, she really loves Taylor Swift.
I mean, have you seen her mother? It's genetic.
Yeah. How is Olive doing?
How's Olive doing? I'm actually really glad this question got asked. Like, I think, you know, Emma and Olive, obviously things ended before they began. Olive is doing great. I think Olive is still in Australia, dating a girl, or, you know, someone that is not a cis man. And I think Olive and Emma reconnect as adults a little bit, and, you know, get lunch together and introduce their partners to each other, and it's, you know, there's none of the romantic feelings or anything there, because that
much gayer than being friends with your situation.
Oh my god, no, what's very funny about this, and gonna totally, if this person ever watches this video, out myself but to this crush, but it was this, you know, her and I were, you know, still friends for years after, like Facebook level friends, the same kind of level. And when I got married, she commented, "Congratulations."
Erica's spilling some tea.
And my best friend, like, because she knew about this, just like texted me going, like, laughing their ass off.
I want that to be the start of a webtoon.
Can that be a webtoon?
Right.
I feel like you guys talked about a lot of really amazing stuff, so I'm really happy that we ended up doing this. Thanks so much for being in my video, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for reading Night Owls. If you liked the video, feel free to
say it with pride.
Smash that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next webtoon or in the next video. Bye!